On the Electric Playground, we sharpen our blades and hit the pedal for the multiplayer of Need for Speed The Run and Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Coming up today on the show, THQ is putting together a Pictionary Ultimate Edition tournament, and the winner gets to donate $1,000 to the charity of their choice.
In today's show, I'm at the Silver Snail, a landmark of a comic store here in Toronto, to chat with Elias Toufexis about his many video game voice roles.
Where can you find a werewolf, a vampire, a ghost, and Bruce Campbell? You can find them in the Sonar.
And the new challengers are entering an ultimate game for hyper combos galore. Hey everyone, welcome to the Electric Playground, the show that gives you the latest in everything cool every single day. You get your money's worth in the first 5 minutes, and then the rest is free. I'm your host, Brianna McIver, and this is The Rundown. It looks like Hollywood is constructing a big screen Lego movie. The little plastic blocks have inspired countless video games and animated shorts. Now Variety reports that the big screen rights to Lego have been acquired by Warner Brothers Pictures, and the studio plans to build a feature-length animated movie. It will be created by Animalogic, the same visual effects company behind last year's stylish adventure, Legend of the Guardians: The Owls of Ga'Hoole. One of the directors behind Robot Chicken may also work on the movie. We'll let you know when more Lego details come together. And some very nice casting news has come in from Quentin Tarantino's next movie. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Borat and Bruno star Sacha Baron Cohen has been offered the role of a slave owner in Django Unchained. The highly anticipated spaghetti western will also star Death Proof wheelman Kurt Russell and J. Edgar's Leonardo DiCaprio as slave owners. Audiences can next see Sacha Baron Cohen in Martin Scorsese's robotic adventure Hugo, which opens in North America next week and hits Australia in January. More and more players across the globe are answering the call of duty. 6.5 million copies of the latest game in the series, Modern Warfare 3, were sold in its first day on store shelves. That makes it the fastest-selling Call of Duty game yet, and publisher Activision states that it's the biggest launch in entertainment history. Modern Warfare 3 brings the trilogy to an epic conclusion and offers new multiplayer and co-op modes. We'll let you know when the first downloadable content pack is revealed. The English-language remake of the South Korean film Old Boy has scored its King of Crime. Twitch Film reports that the King's Speech Oscar winner Colin Firth has been offered the role of the lead villain in the film. Like the original, the new Old Boy will follow the story of a man mysteriously trapped in a room for 15 years only to be set free to hunt down his captors. True Grit's Josh Brolin will play the lead with filmmaker Spike Lee in the director's chair. Bothan spies may have identified the title of an all-new Star Wars game. With the MMO adventure Star Wars: The Old Republic set to go online next month, many fans have wondered if any other new games from a galaxy far, far away are in the works. It appears that Star Wars publisher LucasArts has registered domain names for something called Star Wars Identities, leading to speculation that this is the title of an all-new game. We'll let you know if the Force guides us to any new details. In the meantime, Star Wars: The Old Republic hits the PC on December 20th. And the director behind Immortals wants to make a live-action Samurai Jack movie. Speaking with The Hollywood Reporter, Immortals director Tarsem Singh revealed that he's a big fan of Samurai Jack. The franchise served as the basis for a 2004 video game in addition to the animated series. The filmmaker says he'd love to turn it into a live-action movie, but adds that there are no official plans. Tarsem Singh is currently working on Mirror, Mirror, a stylish retelling of the classic Snow White fairy tale. It will arrive next year. And there's a new Snow White movie set to hit theaters next year. The first look at Snow White and the Huntsman has arrived. It's a dark and gritty take on the fairy tale and stars Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth. Kristen Stewart plays the fair maiden with Charlize Theron as the very evil and very vain queen. Snow White and the Huntsman promises to deliver plenty of action when it arrives on June 1st, 2012. PlayStation 3 gamers will get a little something extra from Need for Speed The Run. All PS3 copies of the game will offer 7 exclusive vehicles, including the Lexus LFA and the Porsche Carrera GT. They'll give players an advantage as they race across the continental US. Other goodies can be earned in the game's multiplayer mode. It features a new reward system that doesn't just give prizes to the winners.
We've developed a number of unique content and rewards for players so that when you finish 8th, it's going to look at all the things that you did in the race and it's going to say, well, yeah, you finished 8th, but you were ahead of people for a segment of the race, or you took the most shortcuts of anybody. So looking for positive aspects of your experience and making sure that even when you finish 8th, you're not that far behind the person who finished first.
We'll have an in-depth look at the multiplayer mode later today. Need for Speed The Run races into stores this week. And you'll be able to relive more PS2 classics thanks to a new HD collection. Sony Computer Entertainment has revealed that the original Jak and Daxter games are getting the HD treatment. The publisher hasn't said which specific titles will be included in the set, but it's rumored to feature the first 3 games in the series. The Jak and Daxter franchise was created by developer Naughty Dog, and the studio's latest game, Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception, is out now on the PS3. Up next, an artistic tournament and some ultimate arcade fighters. Welcome back to the Electric Playground. The Marvel and Capcom universes have collided once again, and the result is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. All your favorite characters return, and there are some new ones as well. Who? Well, Miri can tell you that.
Live and let die. Fight!
You can't talk about a Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game without talking about characters. For Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I understand there are a number of new playable characters. Who are they? When can we get our hands on them?
There are so many. There's 12, and it's just an amazing list. So the only returning character we've got is Strider Hiryu, who is, of course, the star of Strider, but also a very popular character from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So we had huge fan requests to bring him back. We did that. Other than that, they're all new. We've got Virgil, who's the twin brother of Dante from the Devil May Cry series, but he's got a brand new set of moves, very representative of his character in the game. And also from the Marvel side, we've got the immortal Iron Fist, who's just the greatest kung fu superstar you could imagine, and he harnesses the power of chi to do these beautiful 1-inch punches. He's just a kung fu dream.
I've forgotten more about fighting than you'll ever know.
Is there an actual number of combos that are available with all the players you have that are playable characters right now?
The beautiful thing about Capcom games is we just design moves, and we have some combo ideas in mind when we build it, but we really leave it in the hands of the players. So every time we release a game, the players, once they get their hands on it, take it in a direction that we definitely didn't anticipate and do amazing things. But it's really, we leave it in the hands of the players, and it's that kind of flexibility that gives these games such a long life and keeps people going.
Hyper Combo KO!
Who are some characters that are your favorites, and what makes the 12 new playable characters unique in their fighting styles and the combos that are available?
Ghost Rider, he's a guy on a motorcycle with a whip, but he sort of functions almost like a Dhalsim character if you're familiar with him from the Street Fighter series. Ghost Rider uses the whip to really control a huge amount of space on the screen, so it's really effective at range, which we haven't really had in a Marvel game before, whereas Firebrand, this little demon guy, has all his traditional moves from Ghosts and Goblins, but also is just very good at staying around in the air and flying, which is not something we'd really explored before. So these kind of characters bring just a brand new dynamic to the game, something we haven't seen before. So we try and give each of them their own flavor, keeping them true to their video game past and where they came from. And again, on the comic side, where they came from. So Doctor Strange on the Marvel side is opening up all kinds of portals and mystic spheres and orbs, but we try and represent the characters past as well as making sure they're a ton of fun to play and something that you haven't experienced before in a Marvel vs. Capcom game.
Player 1 wins! You're not rash if you can back it up.
The game is out today, and there's yet another gadget for you to bring into your living room. Jose is here now to tell you about the uDraw game tablet, some of the available games, and a charity tournament.
THQ is bringing the uDraw tablet to the Xbox and the PlayStation 3. We're talking about Pictionary Ultimate Edition. Wayne, tell me about bringing Pictionary to the next-gen consoles.
We've got the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 versions of our uDraw game tablet, and one of the games we're launching is Pictionary Ultimate Edition. All new clues, new game modes, a lot of fun for the family to gather around and just go crazy.
So how exactly does this uDraw tablet work coinciding with the Xbox and the PlayStation?
We actually created a whole new tablet. Last year we released the Nintendo Wii version, and this year we created tablets for the new console, the HD consoles, and they're fully working controllers. and they actually communicate with your console, and that way you can use stylus-based gameplay for drawing and games like Pictionary on your Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
So what are some of the other games that are going to be able to take advantage of the uDraw's capabilities?
Well, actually, bundling with the tablets themselves is a new version of our studio product called uDraw Studio Instant Artist, where players can just draw and use their imagination and create whatever they want, and then also share it to our website and actually email the pictures or print them out and send them to grandma. And then we've got a sort of game-type game called Marvel Superhero Squad Comic Combat. And in this one, you're the new Marvel artist in the Marvel bullpen, and you have a magic stylus, and it lets you interact with the Marvel Superhero Squad.
Now, you guys are also here with THQ giving away $1,000 to the charity of the winner's choice. It's going to be my choice because I plan on winning. Tell us a little bit about that cooperation.
That's right. We've just got done with round 1 of the tournament, and round 2 is going on right now. And the winner will get to choose a charity of their choice and give $1,000, and they get an awesome Pictionary Man trophy to take home.
Now, why is Pictionary the perfect party game to get into with your friends?
A lot of people love and know Pictionary from having the board game, but now we get to do away with all the markers and paper and all that stuff, and it just lends itself really well to the family gathering around the living room and playing the game on their console.
We will deliver more EP for you to enjoy in your living room right after this, so stay tuned. Up next, an Evil Anniversary Edition Blu-ray and some deadly multiplayer action. You're back here at the Electric Playground where we are enjoying some hot Templar nights, and by that I of course mean it's time to talk Assassin's Creed Revelations. Miri is here with more on the multiplayer aspect of the game.
Assassin's Creed Revelations has all kinds of new fun stuff, but today we're going to talk about multiplayer. What can we expect in the multiplayer realm for this game?
In Revelations, we're building on what we did with Brotherhood. Obviously, we had a new, innovative gameplay for multiplayer, and we felt we had a strong lineup of modes that we can continue build on for Revelations. The new features that we'll be adding, we are creating a stronger link with the solo. You will have the hook blade in multiplayer. You will see that some of the abilities are reminiscent of the bomb crafting abilities that you'll have in the solo campaign. And we'll have the new settings and new characters that fit with the new Constantinople environment that you find in the solo.
When we're playing multiplayer, how many people can I play with, play against? Their co-op? Is it competition? How does it work?
The mode that we had on ACB, which is Manhunt, which is 4 against 4 opponents that are actually trying to hunt each other down.
Fight with me and show him what it means to cross the assassins.
We're keeping the best modes from Brotherhood, but we are building on that to add new modes that will vary from 4 to 8 players, and depending on the kind of game mode that you want to play, you'll find it's more stealth or more action-oriented.
And what about weapons? When we're playing with 4 other people, how are we going to switch off weapons? Do we share weapons? What's our fingertips?
When we play Brotherhood, you had basically a weapon per character. We're adding another weapon per character, so you'll be able to choose between 2 types of weapons. What we're adding that's really different this year is that each character will have different kill moves that are dependent on how you play. So if you approach your character in a more stealth way, your animation and your kill move will be shorter and allow you to get out faster. So if you prepare well, you'll be advantaged, and if you don't prepare as well, you'll have a really amazing animation that will penalize you.
The cool thing about this particular iteration of the game is you've got Ezio, you have Desmond, and you have Altair. How does that work itself out in multiplayer?
There's no link between the stories of the solo and the multi, but what we're adding this year is a stronger storyline within the Templar storyline that we have in the multiplayer.
How can an assassin change the world?
When we played Brotherhood, you were a Templar in training, and basically the only narrative that you had was the initial integration in the game. Now you're going to be talked to, and you're basically a member of Abstergo, and they're explaining to you how things are working, how you're doing in the progress of the company, and the more you progress, the more you'll get to know how things work behind the curtains at Abstergo.
Now let's take a break from games for just a moment to talk Blu-rays. Miri is here with all the new releases in the Sonar.
Get ready, because it's time for another round of Blu-rays and DVDs to add to your collections, and what better way to get things going than with Bruce Campbell and lots of blood. It's been 25 years since Evil Dead 2: Dead by Dawn first graced the silver screen with its gory presence, and now you can celebrate with a brand new anniversary edition.
Gotcha, didn't I, you little sucker?
Director Sam Raimi's follow-up to the 1981 cult classic Evil Dead follows the hero Ash and his surreal adventures.
Groovy.
The disc also comes loaded with a full slate of newly produced extras, like all new cast and crew commentary, featurettes, interviews, and more. Craving some fun love in the rom-com department? Then look no further as Larry Crown hits the shelves on Blu-ray and DVD.
What'd they say?
You have to listen twice.
Tom Hanks directs and stars in the film alongside his megawatt colleague, Julia Roberts.
Brain freeze.
The film didn't score points with film critics, but does come with featurettes that include interviews, deleted scenes, and on-set making-of footage. Being Human was such a hit in the UK that Sci-Fi revamped the story for US audiences, and now the complete first season can be yours to own on DVD and Blu-ray. All 13 episodes of the season will be included in the set, as well as a making-of featurette, interviews with cast and crew, as well as footage from Being Human's panel at this year's San Diego Comic-Con.
You're such a nerd.
Farscape fans, you're in luck as the complete series is now available for the first time ever in 1080p. You'll get all 88 episodes of the show, which amounts to over 4,000 minutes of Farscape goodness, along with a bunch of special features. In addition to 31 audio commentaries, you'll also find tons of deleted scenes, 3 inside Farscape featurettes, video profiles, and behind-the-scenes interviews.
There are plenty of nerd-tastic releases to keep you busy throughout the week, and we've got even more cool stuff coming up after the break. After the break, we talk to the voice behind Adam Jensen and buckle up for high-speed multiplayer. Welcome back to EP. Earlier today, Miri walked you through the multiplayer modes in Assassin's Creed Revelations, and now she's here to get behind the wheel and deliver the information on the speedy multiplayer modes in Need for Speed: The Run.
Need for Speed: The Run has a pretty developed storyline. How does multiplayer factor into that?
Well, we figure people are going to be playing multiplayer when they're finished the run story campaign, and they're looking for another experience to have. So what we tried to do is get people to have a motivation. One of the biggest barriers to entry into multiplayer is, of course, they go online and they get their butt kicked immediately. So we really wanted to focus in on making sure that they could get in the game very easily, and then also when they get online, they have a really good time. So to do that, we added Join in Progress. So no matter if there's a race already halfway done, we want people to, instead of waiting in the lobby, just get into the game immediately and start earning experience points.
And what do you think multiplayer is going to add to the Need for Speed: The Run experience?
Well, multiplayer is really going to allow people to play together. One of the biggest focuses, again, was play with friends. So we want to make sure that people can go online, they can hook up with their friend in what we're calling a play group. So basically, I can invite my buddy, we can get together. Once we get in the multiplayer session, we're then going to be given certain objectives that we need to actually work together to accomplish. So it might be finish first and second in a race. It sounds easy in principle, but once you actually get in the online environment, that can actually be a little tricky to do. But those are the types of things that we want to try to get players to play competitively against everybody else, but also try to work together to try to complete these objectives.
What were some of the challenges developing multiplayer for this latest iteration of Need for Speed?
Well, one of the great things about Frostbite 2 engine was it had multiplayer ready to go out of the gate. It was developed by DICE, so Battlefield was at its core. So very early on, we got our first car and our first track in the game when we were first working on the engine. But it worked in multiplayer right away. So I jumped in the helicopter, and another coworker got in a car, and he started racing around Yosemite track. And I started shooting at him. Because we were multiplayer, it just worked right out of the gate, and we've really never looked back. That's one of the powerful things about Frostbite, is just everything can be multiplayer connected.
The game is out today, and as we mentioned earlier in the rundown, if you get a PS3 copy, it will come with some additional cars, so that's a bonus. Now, our next guest may sound familiar to you because his voice can be heard in games like Assassin's Creed and Deus Ex.
You have style, but endurance is what counts.
Elias, some fans may not know your face, but they definitely know your work in video games such as Assassin's Creed. You're in 2 and Brotherhood, and you're also in Revelations. Who do you play in Revelations?
Well, in 2 in Brotherhood, I played Federico, which is Ezio's brother.
That pretty face is his only asset.
In Revelations, Ubisoft was kind enough to bring me in, and I play a whole bunch of different characters, guys that give you side quests, some guys you get to kill. I won't say who, but hopefully you'll catch my voice.
None of you leave until the assassin is dead!
When you're playing so many different characters in one game, what are some of the challenges of keeping the voices fresh?
It's funny, that you say that, because especially with games like Assassin's Creed, they're so vast that, you got 100 hours of gameplay or something. So my argument with the directors is, well, can I change my voice here or do something? They're like, oh, change it, but you don't have to do it that much because it's going to be 50 hours later. But I try, I'll definitely, higher register, lower register. I can't really change an accent in a game like Assassin's Creed because it takes place in one particular part of the world. But that's what I do. I'll change my voice ever so slightly.
Search them. There's bound to be something in their pockets.
What are some of the things that you kind of do to get into character for these characters?
Well, it depends. With Assassin's Creed, I picked a Brotherhood, and there was an Italian accent. We'd have a dialect coach there the whole time, but we'd start with a speech pattern and a way of a way of talking, like the cliche kind of babbity boopy, that kind of thing. You go in, you kind of flow into the Italian that way.
Let the doctor decide.
But for something like Deus Ex, it was much more preparation because it's much more serious and difficult because there's so much to say.
With all due respect, Major, I'll expect 2 security details waiting for us.
Do you ever play a game that you've provided the voice for and then heard a line and not really remembered that you recorded that?
Deus Ex, I don't remember 90% of it because it took so long to record. It took about 4 years. In the game, you have missions that you have to pass by convincing people of things. And I failed. And I'm like, how did I fail? I recorded the dialogue, but I didn't remember any of it, which is great because it makes the game really fun for me to play.
I guess I never thought of it that way.
You will also voice a character in the upcoming Ubisoft title I Am Alive. That's expected to arrive soon, and as always, we deliver the latest in everything cool, and this is what's coming. On the next Electric Playground, Zelda and Link celebrate their 25th birthday in style.
Coming up tomorrow on the show, I'm headed to Flying Colors Comics to talk about comics on the Sonar.
And coming soon to EP, we've got all the coolest toys for the upcoming holiday season. If you missed anything in the show or you just want to watch it again, you can visit us at g4tv.ca or go to our website at electplay.com. You can also follow us on Twitter under electplay and find us on Facebook under Electric Playground. I'm going to sail on out of here, but I will leave you with a look at Vessel. It's an indie title that's being developed in Australia and in Seattle. Enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.